Full. Just shows, family life goes on. It's all about not going back to what we said yesterday. Is playing to the conditions, isn't it?
Playing to the conditions. Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
what's interesting with that, Kevin, we've changed our business model significantly for our clients. Interesting thing is, I think that what we're offering now is a better solution, a better service, and a much higher frequency of value add that is creating some amazing momentum for our clients. So that's been really exciting, and I don't think we would have necessarily made that change. Clearly, for someone who travels a lot and is on planes a lot, that's all gone at this point in time. So we've done, I think, a really good job of reinventing, and our clients keep coming back to us and saying, "Hey, we're loving this support, and we're loving how you're delivering on this, the level of frequency, the level of focus, and so on," which is great.
Yeah, I think there's so much has come out of this difficult situation that we're in now, and that's a beautiful message. Is that things have changed, but I think they've changed for the better because I think our communication is a lot more earthy, it's a lot more real, and there's a classic demonstration of it. Hey mate, to today's topic, let's get into it. Controlling the controllables. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. So look, one of my core models in our coaching process is there is what you can control. So, if you imagine a bullseye here, what you can control, what you can influence, and what you can't control, or it's outside of your control. So in your control, within your influence, and outside of your control. And look, there are things that have happened that are, government imposed standards that are in play from both a sales and a property management point of view, right at this very point in time, that are out of your control. There's always been things outside of your control. There's just a couple other things that have bumped out to that particular level. But what I find, Kevin, is the best in the business are not focused on what they can't do. They're focused on what they can do. And one of the very simple exercises that I would love you guys to do, and if the leaders are tuning in, do this exercise as a team in one of your team meetings. And even if that's on Zoom, have them do it on Zoom, and literally just get a piece of paper, put a line down the center. What can I do and what can't I do? So, here are the things I can't do, and here's the things I can do. There's some things you couldn't do anyway, given your market conditions, but there are a couple of other things that are sitting on the can't do that used to be on the can do side. But what I guarantee will be the case of that exercise is you look at the can do list and say, actually, the can do list is longer than the can't do list. That's good news. So the question is, are you going to focus on what you can't do, be a grumpy bum around the place because you can't do that? Or you're going to focus on the things that you can do. I'm still blown away that when I jump onto a Zoom call, I've got an agent who's finding it hard to get on, or how do I turn the speaker on, or how do I do this? I'm saying, come on, guys, this is not your first rodeo. You've got to get great at this sort of stuff. And, if I'm not doing a face-to-face with a vendor, am I going to do and over a Zoom? Because a Zoom is much better than, I think, a phone call in many, many situations. So, you look at this and you start to look at the shopping list of that. And then, back to an ideal week, if some of the guys who are probably tuning in are working from home or working remotely or working in a different kind of work style, you've got to get your ideal week back into play. These are things that are within your control. So the more that you focus on controlling the controllables and influencing the influenceables, great things will happen. And you've got to look at your influencing strategies now too. So what is the quality of the conversation you're having with the buyer? Some of the guys left the marketplace early this year that, do you want to buy it? No. Okay, well, someone else will. And basically, how great am I selling property in terms of early this year? The reality of the situation now is the market conditions have changed. So we've got to look at it and say, well, I can influence people in a more powerful way. But, right now, and I know later on in the week, we're going to share and talk about the buyer engagement process. That's one that's totally in your control. So, what are we doing, and what's best practice in your business and within your agency as to how you're actually managing buyers and working with buyers? And that's a classic example. You can't control a buyer, but you can massively influence them. And it's the quality of the conversation, it's the frequency of the conversation in there. So do that exercise either individually or, if don't wait for your team to do it, for the whole office to do it. Just do this exercise and go, what can I do? What can I do? Have a look at that and say, okay, from what I can do, what will I do? And then jump that into an ideal week, because the more that's sitting in an ideal week, Kevin, I think the power is going to be in starting to really lock and load that in a way that builds amazing momentum for you and your business.
Yeah, you made a really good point there too. You make so many good points, but the one in particular that resonated with me was about buyers. And I think that's something I want to talk to you about tomorrow, because we're going to pick up on being ready. How do you get ready? Because I think the changing conditions are going to require for us to maybe revisit some of our skills in that area. But Michael Sheargold and I will discuss that over the next few days. Come back again tomorrow. We'll talk about getting ready. Thanks for your time, Michael.
Thanks, Kevin.
The Daily RE Uncut Show is powered by CoreLogic and supported by Printforce, Rockend and Realty.com.au. Realty.com.au is where you will see all our shows: Real Estate Talk, The Property Show, Auction Update, and of course RE Uncut. We are the home of property.